Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Can any good thing come out of Congress other than a significant change of its personnel? Well, yes, in fact, on the Mojave Desert Cross, there is a resolution supporting this cross. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel and dean of Liberty University School of Law. Joining me is Matt Barber, director of cultural affairs for Liberty Counsel and associate dean for the law school. Matt, this is amazing. I was surprised that we had a unanimous resolution passed in Congress condemning the theft of the Mojave Desert Memorial Cross. We have filed a brief in that case when it went to the U.S. Supreme Court. The lower court had actually ruled that the cross needed to be removed, and so pending the litigation, it was first of all covered over by like a gunny sack, like a cloth. And when the wind ripped that apart, they then required the judge to have it covered over with square plywood on both sides, so it just looked like a sign with nothing on it. Went up to the U.S. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court sent the case back down to the trial court for further action, and the issue was whether or not the federal government could transfer the land on which the cross stood to the Veterans Association for the maintaining of that cross, so that they would be the private owners of this land. The ACLU said they didn't want anything to do with it, void the transfer, take down the cross. Supreme Court sent it back down to the trial court, and then about 2 weeks later, vandals came and destroyed the cross and stole it, and that's where we are right now, and that's the reason for this resolution.
Well, the resolution is very encouraging, and it was an outrage that these individuals, these vandals, clearly siding with the ACLU in their opinion that the cross did not belong there, would go and violate the law and steal this cross and really dishonor the thousands and thousands of veterans that cross was there to honor. This is really a slap in the face of military people around the world, and it just shows the ACLU's hostility toward free speech and really, frankly, toward our United States Armed Services and the ACLU's ilk. I should add. My only hope now is, and here's what was kind of upsetting to me, is that a replacement cross after it was stolen was donated and placed. Right. That was almost identical to the original cross. Well, the Obama administration, through the I believe the Park Services, stepped in and said no, and they removed that cross, which is totally unnecessary for them to do, and again displays a hostility toward this type of freedom of religious expression.
Yeah, what you have is, of course, the litigation still in effect, but at the end of the day, I think based upon what the Supreme Court said, they were going to allow the transfer of the property.
Sure.
Sending it back down to the trial court for some further activity. But at the end of the day, I think we would have had a win. The transfer of the property would have been permissible. The Veterans Association would be able to maintain it, so therefore there's no more government action. Cross would still remain in its exact same place. But then when it gets stolen, the natural thing is, well, if you've got an identical replica, put it back up pending this litigation. And someone donated a replica of the original cross. They created a replica, no cost to the government, no cost to anybody except for the private donors. And then Eric Holder, the Department of Justice, President Obama, they're doing two things. First of all, they're dragging their feet. They're not pushing the litigation to come to a final resolution. And secondly, they're not allowing the cross to go back up. And that is absolutely ridiculous. So now when the House comes in and makes this resolution, my hope is that it'll put pressure on the Obama administration and the Department of Justice to move forward with this litigation, to put the replica cross back up, and to defend it like they should.
Well, and it's so sad that we're even having this discussion, that we should even ask people to encourage President Obama and Attorney General Holder to do the right thing here. Common sense tells you that this is the right thing. And if a case is ongoing like this and things are essentially frozen in place, then you return to the status quo. You return. They need to make the situation whole and return the cross so that we're in status quo until such time that the case reaches final resolution. This is essentially what's called a heckler's veto. We've allowed the people here, and the Obama administration has allowed the people who are offended by this cross, who don't want it there, to arbitrarily step in and veto the speech that's represented by this cross being in place. This memorial. So they've stepped in, removed the cross, and so essentially Eric Holder has allowed a heckler's veto to take place.
Yeah, it really is discouraging when you see the administration not pushing this because this is the only memorial in the nation that honors the fallen soldiers of World War I. It honors all veterans, but it was particularly erected as a memorial to the soldiers who sacrificed their lives in World War I. It is something that was donated. It became a place where people gathered for that memorial. It's been there since 1934. It's comforted many soldiers, families, and citizens since that time. So it ought to be back there. It's a memorial for our soldiers. And why the Obama administration and Eric Holder are not, one, aggressively defending this case and moving it through the system, and two, saying that replica cross ought to be put back in place pending this litigation is beyond me. But the good news is Jerry Lewis, who is a Republican member of Congress from California, actually proposed this resolution, and he made it clear that preserving the honor and memory of the veterans, fallen or otherwise, was a critical need, condemning this theft and supporting the Mojave Desert Memorial Cross. And amazingly, this passed unanimously in the House of Representatives.
Well, and that's a symbolic act, but it's an important and powerful symbolic act. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why the Obama administration would not hook their little red wagon to that. From a political standpoint, it only makes sense. It's a great political maneuver, but the fact that they are avoiding it and that they will not get involved and not vigorously defend this case, to me, that just displays how deeply their hostility toward this type of speech and this type of representation, this memorial, how deeply that hostility runs within the Obama administration.
It's interesting to compare President Obama's administration with Bill Clinton's administration. Both of those are obviously liberal in their views. Obama's even more liberal than President Bill Clinton was. But Clinton would have had at least the savvy to jump on the bandwagon here. From a political perspective, even if he believed it or didn't, he would have the savvy to jump on the bandwagon because it has a broad public support. Obama doesn't do that. Obama takes the position that is a very radical position that's not supported by the American people, and it's why when you poll his popularity, his approval ratings all over the country, it is exceedingly low. It's also why that nobody is asking Obama to come and campaign for him, because he is out of touch with the American people. He's out of touch with American heritage and history. He's out of touch with the heartbeat of this nation, and this is just another example.
Well, it's why the Obama administration's popularity is going down like the Hindenburg, frankly. And I guess you have to give him credit. I mean, the man at least is a true believer. He's a true neo-Marxist. He's a true secular humanist. He really believes these radical things. He really is trying to do a Marxist makeover of our nation and eliminate any reference to Christianity and eliminate the free market and so forth. So to the extent that his actions match up with what he believes, at least, you have to, I guess, I don't know if respect is the right word, but at least he's, stands firm on his convictions. It's just that his convictions are extremely destructive.
Yeah, and they're wrong.
And just be wrong.
Yeah. So, give us a call at Liberty Counsel at 1-800-671-1776. Go to the website as well, lc.org. Click on lc.org and sign up for the Federation Network. It's a social networking, just like Facebook. But for political, social issues, moral issues, religious issues, you're not going to be bombarded by things that are extraneous, but things that are important for America. It has a fully functional blog. Your blog, you can hook it up to Facebook, so whatever you put on the Federation Network goes directly to Facebook. Anything that you put on Twitter or Facebook comes directly as well, but to the Federation website. So go there. It's free of charge, lc.org. Click on the blue icon on the left. And also, not only learn about events, but create your own events in your area, whether it's a Meet the Candidate or a prayer meeting in your own area. Make yourself available on this network and network with others as well to take back America. You can also go to the website and ask for the book, Take Back America. It's time that we take back America today.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.